Good morning, America, and good morning, whomever, wherever you are on this big planet. This is Dr. Cherry from the arid zone. And it is still pretty hot here. It's like another summer that doesn't want to end. But hey, the sun, who does not like the sun? All right, so today's video is kind of very interesting, knowing that we are today, as of today, we are officially starting the SOS to the World Deadly Window, the scorpionic window, which means the deadly window, a window that involves Russia, secret, wake-up call, sex, the IRS, the FBI. I mean, if you've been watching me when I'm talking about in reference to this very particular window, knowing, of course, it is ruled and controlled by Pluto. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. And Pluto is the base of all the reptilians, which makes this reptilian dance of evil quite and very much obvious. So to actually give you an idea of what those cosmic winds are going to do to us at a personal level and to the world at a universal level, I write quatrains like Nostradamus used to do in the 16th century, with the only difference, of course, I don't have to fear the French Inquisitions. This means I'm not going to end up on fire on the stake. Okay, now with this quatrain, we also have keywords. That is for those who have a very dry mind, for people that are too rational, too logical, those born with an unadvanced UCI, unique celestial identity, that have a problem to relate, of course, to my intuitive domain in my cosmic work. So here we go. We're going to start by explaining why Trump said that he would suggest he'd leave the country if he loses to Biden. Explanation. Well, for the president to show us his back if he loses has a lot of reasons, hidden reasons. And since we are in that window that involves secrets to light, let me give you my light, something that either the media is not intuitive or sharp enough to gather just yet, or maybe they are not allowed to say it. But I mean, if you have been following my videos, I can't recall how many times I've told you, first of all, the stars do not endorse President Trump's re-election, and it seemed to be going the right direction in that one. And the second one that I told you and wrote in my videos, in my newsletters, is that President Trump cannot stay in this country once he's done. Right now, he's the president. In other words, he's protected. He cannot be sued. There is a lot of things that the legal system cannot do to him. So they are waiting for him to get off of power, and then they're going to get him. So that means all his properties, all this tremendous amount of legal battle that he has on his back, that's enough to ruin him and his family. And that's why I told you many, many moons ago, I said, you know what, Trump has to become friends with our enemies. Would it be Russia, North Korea, God knows what? He's preparing the ground for when he loses. So he can't stay in this country, and he cannot be repatriated, or he cannot be touched legally. There is so many ramifications that are involved. When you have money, when you have power and an army of attorney taking care of you, they're telling you what you should do and shouldn't do. So, and this is what Trump is doing. First of all, the main reason is to save his assets. So, of course, he has an extraordinarily huge ego that's undeniable, losing to the worst man on the planet who has been into politics for many, many years. But I mean, that is, it depends on your UCI. If your UCI is liberal or conservative, you're going to agree to disagree with me. And then since the get-go, I told you, do not kill the messengers. Remember, I am here not to bash Trump or anybody else. I am here to translate his stars and how his stars are affecting us. Because as mentioned a trillion times before, when you elect a president, you will have to suffer his idiosyncrasies. You will have to suffer his fate. And you have elected a Gemini. So the smart one will click on the word Gemini and read. Those who are extra smart are going to kill on President Trump's head that's moving around nonstop, which is Gemini, and read all that I wrote a day before he got elected that is currently transpiring and right in front of your faces. Sad enough, there are people that, as always, too emotionally connected with their beliefs. Some of these beliefs religious, okay, some are about quantum, whatever junk that people believe because their mind is into conspiracy. Some are victimized by previous talking heads, and there is plenty talking head out there that talk about conspiracy. So they already been indoctrinated to fear the power, to fear the government. And that's because their stars vibrate at the same cosmic speed as the people they trust. I would name, for example, David Icke and other of these people who tells you Holocaust didn't take place, Sandy Hook was staged and all that junk, which is really offending. And that's why those guys are being muted and forced to pay a few $100,000 being sued for their stupidity. Remember, these people cannot change their tune, okay? They have said the same thing since 1991. I've said the same thing since 1991. You should not lead people into fear, into chaos, into ignorance. Instead, you should give them love, light, provide them cosmic wisdom. But, you know, all of those talking heads are not cosmic conscious. They delegate with life pretty much like the people that follow them with their five logical, rational mind, and they use fears to make sure you sign up for their ridiculous newsletters telling you a bunch of stupidity. That doesn't mean conspiracy do not exist. Understand me, okay? Again, don't throw the messengers or don't throw the water with the baby. I'm trying to help you here. So you will agree with me all you want. Time, as always, and will always be my utmost faithful witness. We will see in time who is right. Dr. Thierry puts the green with the mouth because it's what I did since 1991 or 95 when I started my career professionally on Art Bell. First time I was on Art Bell in 1995. And God knows it's my first prediction that was about in reference to America going to a religious war with the Middle East took place. That was well before Osama bin Laden, well before 9/11 that I also predicted, and then well before the invasion of Iraq. So, hey, the videos are on YouTube. Check it out. That you have Dr. Thierry and the source is real. Now we are under this very, very nasty, plutonic, deadly window. So as always, I have gathered some of the news that represent the quatrain and the keywords that I put there, something that my VIPs are fully trained and fully aware of by reading the news before the news takes place. And at the same time, it also tells you to be very careful when you are doing one of these windows for what you say, what you do, will follow you for the rest of your life. Okay, and impact you for the rest of your life. That is if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, you'll die. All right, so let's start. Trump and Giuliani may be useful to Putin, but they are not idiots. Okay, if you like anything as far as the news are concerned that you didn't hear or you want to know, all those links are live. Take a lot of work and a lot of pride in doing my work, so that I'm giving you as much information and as much as reliable information as possible. So if you want to read about the detail, all you have to do, my good friend, is to click on the link. But I don't care about the news. I don't care about politics. I'm using the keywords. The keywords on that one is Russia. That's the first word that you have, Russia. And now you go, comes the news with Russia today. Johnson letters to FBI's raid demands to know more about Hunter Biden's laptop. Again, if you're interested in conspiracy, if you're interested in support Biden or don't, whatever, okay, don't kill the messengers. Pay attention to the word FBI, because it is part of the many, many keywords I gave you. What else do we have? Teenager of Chechen origin suspected of decapitating teachers in Paris suburb. This is terrorism. It is part of the keywords, terrorism. These kids, young, indoctrinated, religious fanatic, entirely and completely infected by the reptilians, kill these teachers because it's something that they were trained to do and he could not control himself. This is what you get when emotions override your logic, when you are pushed for years and years and years or months and months and months to do something. And the people that teaches you, you have high faith, you high trust in these people. And then literally you slowly but surely being indoctrinated and you react robotically from your stars that are manipulated by the reptilians. There you go. Terrorism is there. France's moves to expel 231 radicalized foreigners after assassination of these poor teachers. Again, why would France wait so long to get rid of hundreds of terrorists in my country? I don't know. I have no idea. This doesn't mean that all the foreigners and all the Muslims that reside in France are bad people. I was raised with those Arabs when I was a kid. That's all we had. Okay. What happened is in the war, once upon the time, France literally used to own the entire north of America, Algeria, Morocco, all those area in the north of France, okay, in the north of Africa were French, literally. So we educate these people. We show them how to dig oil from the ground. We educate these. And then for many, many years, we were very close to the oil because France has no oil. Then we had to fight the Russians and the Americans who didn't want the French too close to the oil. So de Gaulle said, hey, I ain't going to fight that war against America and Russia without helping the Arabs to get their countries. Let's get out of here. So de Gaulle had a lot of people that were working with him in that part of the world that were educated. And those people fought with the French, their own people. So you cannot leave those Arabs, educated Arabs in their country because they're going to be killed. So they came home. But as they came home, they brought dozens of wives, they brought their religion, and that's the sad reality. So the Arabs kids that were growing up with, they are not French and they are not Arabs. They are both. Okay, and at the same time, they are in a position where it's difficult to adapt. I know a lot of them that I grew up with, they don't want to be called names, Arabic names. They actually change their names to tell you how encrusted they are in the French leniency. So all I'm trying to tell you here, it's in the United States, there are, I don't know how many of terrorists there are in this country, but they should not be here. And that's where I 150% support Trump. Okay. In fact, we need more of Trump in France than we need in this country. But anyway, that is, I don't want to go political in my own country. Okay. All I know is that I was raised with these Arabs. They are like French. They are really nice people. They are lovely people. They work, they pay tax. But no, it's like with the police, you have also bad apples. Okay, who have the natural negative stars. They are reptilians infected, and they cut the head of French teachers. Happened here in this country too. What else do we have? Software CEO faces largest ever US tax evasion charge, $2 billion. The keyword IRS is there. So I prepare all my VIP and my Patreon supporters, thanks to you guys, to the type of news that was going to be ahead of them. While it's interesting to see all my vision being translated right in front of your face, if you pay attention to my work, or if you have the stars more precisely to decipher my spiritual work, you're going to make a good use of it. But most of all, it's personal. It's helping you to be careful during these windows, not to go places, not to do things unless you want to be killed. What else do we have? Chicago is the rattiest city in America for the 6 years in a row. Well, Chicago is not the rattiest only city in the world. It is reptilious and infected. When you have a lot of rats, a lot of dirt, it shows the poverty. But at the same time, I recall my brother, who owns a bunch of restaurants in the south of France many years ago. He was all pissed off at me because there were trash outside to attract the rats. I said, you know what, Joe? You couldn't have no rats if you had no trash. Okay? So in some ways, I was trying to make him aware that even though we should keep everything clean so we don't get shut down, hotels and restaurants don't get shut down, but rats is sometimes a good sign. It means there is food. And rats, oh, they know where to get food. So what is good about those rats on a spiritual level in that city, Chicago? It's just a representation that it's a city full of food, full of everything you need, okay? But at the same time, there is a hell of a lot of infection, a lot of reptiles infected because those kids are not taken care of. And I can only tell you what happened to me when I arrived in this country. My good friend was $50 in my pocket. If my government, socialist, would just scared to help, to fear, because you're Americans, you're going to say, whoa, whoa, whoa. But if my government did not invest 6 months on me and pay for my food, for my lodging and my education, I would have come in this country with $50 in my pocket. And once I go rid of my $50, what else do I have to do? All those kids are showing you what's going on. They're joining gang. They sell drugs because their government do not care. You do not take care of your kids. The French government does. It's either they're going to send me to jail, send me back home, but I didn't want to go home and fight with my parents, okay, because I was wild. I was only 15. When they say, well, you got to join the FPA, which is a program that France has to help kids in the streets. So when they get out, they have a job. 6 months. It's not worth it to invest 6 months instead of spending trillions and quadrillions of dollars to go on Mars. Don't you think you should invest this money on your kids instead? Unless you take care of these kids, there is no way that Chicago is going to get better. Those kids need help. Or because they are black, because they are Chinese, or God knows what, they don't deserve to be treated like a human being. Think. Socialism is not like living in Russia or North Korea. There is good in everything, including in socialism. Okay. Now, taking to the extreme, that's not good. I understand that. But I got to say thank you for my government to spend 6 months in me to help me to educate myself. Because when I arrived in this country from the street, instead of joining a gang and selling drugs, I was making $65 an hour on the US base in San Diego. And then from there, they sent me to Pearl Harbor and then to the Marshall Islands. Hello? Thank you to my government. Think this way. Invest on your kids or lose them. That's why Chicago is infested with rats or reptiles infected. Film stars Rhonda Fleming has died. Famous death. Prosecutor in Utah files drug trafficking charge against alleged white supremacist gang members. Again, mob. Several injured in Arizona parking lot shooting. Mob is there. Can you believe that? In my own freaking state. Those losers, infected, reptilious gang go there, shoot everybody, and a kid died. A little kid still fighting. I think he's not dead just yet. Let's pray for that little thing. Okay, was shot. Again, if you take the time to talk to every one of these kids before they start to tattoo themselves and they cannot be recognized. Okay, some of them are part of the death wish generation. You can't save those. Those are just too much infected. They are plutonic. Pluto, the planet of death and drama, run their head or their tail of the dragon. Okay, it is just incredibly powerful, and those kids cannot survive without death, war, blood, drama, killing the police, killing each other. It's just part of their regeneration principle. But again, you know, the police department never read my book. Okay, they never think of us in 1 second to read the power of the dragon, to understand how the honor dragon is going to affect them, their family, or society out there. The 600-page book, The Power of the Dragon, available to you so that you can understand what this dragon does to you and to society. But people are not curious enough. They are not brains sharp enough. No, it's ridiculous for a human being to stay at the same level and say, why this? Oh, why that? And not trying to understand and fix the situation. It's above me. I just can't believe it. All right, let's go. I don't want to get too emotional when in Scorpio. All right. What else do we have? Several endure in every. Okay, we mentioned this one. Finland PM's photo shot sparks sexy M debate. Again, this beautiful girl, she's in the position of power. And she goes to show a beautiful jewelry that she has on the chest, but she's under there, she's topless. And there goes all the people that are born with a very earthy, rational, traditional UCI, all religious fanatic, all the conservatives. That's not good. Oh, boy, whatever. It's just a human thing, and they're not curious enough to understand how they made and how they react to anything and everything around them, and that their emotion around them, and that creates a lot of trouble and a lot of conflicts. It's all about education when you look at it. It's so simple. Gadi Hill launching Naked Politics podcast after nude photos scandal. There you go. Sex, scandal, all the words are there. Raw power challenges police deadly villain. This is part of my quatrain. And here you go. Thailand protest. Riot, police fire water cannon as protesters defy rally ban. Police, deadly villain. It's all there. On the other side of the world, I can see the news unfolding and how people die and how their life changes because of the reptilians handling and manipulating those cosmic winds. Christie says he spent 7 days in ICU before recovering from COVID. Wake up call, Mr. Christie. Okay, of course, you do not have millions of dollars and dozen upon dozen of top doctors to save your butt from COVID-19. So unlike our president, well, you had to be in the ICU and nearly lose your life. And this happened to a lot of people. And another friend of mine that I just talked to, again, lost his father. This is just too much. It's just too hard. So what I'm trying to tell you here, what else do we have? Okay. Look at this one. Man arrested after a Seattle police car is set on fire with an officer inside. Of course, the word police is there. But my God, to do that. Imagine how infected one has to be, how high one has to be, a drug addict, drunk, crazy, schizophrenic. All these reptilians are having so much fun with those poor human beings who have no clue what the hell's going on. What else do we have? Texas cops charge a woman with manslaughter after vehicle plunges into lake with passengers inside. Police. This woman was inebriated. She was drunk or high on pot, God knows what. This is every single day. Those people are desperate. Maybe she wanted to commit suicide. Have you thought of it? Well, she can be drunk, but to put an entire family and herself in a lake. Wait a minute here. The reptilians were pushing the poor woman to die and her family to die. It happens all the time. It's happening and you don't know. Warning you, especially in these windows, be cautious what you say, where you go, what you do, because you might die. This is a really, really dangerous window. What else do we have? Police rips Biden, repeated advice to shoot suspect in the leg. Again, police. If you want to read about that, click on the link, but I mentioned the police. Group says it raises money to help police officers, but that's not where the money is going. Nothing new. Police. Remember, every single day you could turn to any channel, you're going to see those non-profit organization, $350 1 minute. Hey, all this money that you give away to help the dogs, to help the cat, to help nature, to help this, to help that. 3/4 of the money is going to those manipulators in their pockets. Okay, you have the proof now. Where's the police, for God's sake? Give me the money. Okay, if you have plenty of money, don't know what to do with it. I'm not going to buy a boat or anything like that. I'm going to make my school. I'm going to teach love. I'm going to teach light. I'm going to teach how God speaks through the universe, how the children respond to their cosmic nature. Teach the parents, teach the entire world, so the new age of Aquarius can finally proceed and we can live ever happy after. All right? Give me the money instead of supporting whomever, whatever, because it comes in the news. It's happening all the time and you're not aware of it. All you have is a big, huge heart. Oh, I want to help the cop. I want to help the cop so bad. For years, I told them to use my software. I will teach them for free. I will do anything for them. None of them has called me to help them. So they get killed. So if you have someone in the police department or involved in the plutonic work, good luck to you. This person may not survive because this person is not cosmic conscious. And there I am, with all the gift and all the teaching available to bring those people home safely. Well, just the way it is. The reptilians don't want me there just yet. They can't do that just yet. What else do we have? 2 dead, 1 wounded in Los Angeles law enforcement shooting. Police. Group say it raised money. Okay, we discussed that. Officers sue former Chicago top Eddie Johnson for sexual assault. Sex. Police. Tennessee mayor resigned after alleged shoplifting a Target. Can you believe that? And mayor, they make tons of money. See the greed, my friend. See the greed. He's a mayor. He makes millions of dollars. This sucker is caught stealing. Greed. You see greed, and you give power to somebody like this. You give power to somebody who does not have the stars to run a country, to run a department in politics. Oh my God. You're playing Russian roulette by being ignorant or not cosmic conscious. When will the world finally raise to the understanding of those rules? Working my ass off for that for sure. Okay, what else do we have? Roy Ellie challenged the Santa Barbara district attorney after fatal shooting of his son, secret to light. Hunter killed 18 wolves, 3 bald eagle. Why would you do that? Such a beautiful natural animals and birds. Why would you kill them? Reptilians. India first Oscar winner dies, famous death. Top World Bank official warn of major economic crisis. Finances. When comes my 2020, you will know this plutonic nasty dance of evil is coming in a few months from now. A complete rebirth of the United States, a complete rebirth of the finances world, the banking industries is on the works, my good friends. There's a lot of good things and bad thing that that is involved in this book as I translate the future. It'll be out pretty soon now. I'm supposed to be in Coast to Coast, yet I don't know. They didn't call me. So what's the point of saying, hey, Louis, I want you in the air. Next thing you know, forget about me. Hey, Mercury retrograde. I guess Tom is busy. He's got things to do. I have no idea. I'm here waiting. What else do we have? India first ever Oscar winner dies, famous death. Can we discuss that? NASA picks partner to land water measuring technology on the moon. Oh my God. Again, my friend, what the hell is that going to help you? That NASA pick a partner to check if there is water on the moon. Can't you see the deception? Can't you see the manipulation? All they're trying to do, as I said, is get the billionaire over there, taking their billionaire friends to have a good look, either from the moon or from the space station. It's all deception. It's all deceiving. It's all sucking your money when money is needed so bad to educate those kids, in Chicago that keep killing themselves forever. That's where the money should go. The money should go in schools like mine that I want to build so I can start to teach love and light. And again, how God speaks through his marvelous, immaculate design. Instead, there goes those rich suckers, well organized, control the media, okay, manipulating you so they can get to your tax, it can get to your donation. And Dr. Cherry is here stuck. You need to help me. All right, let's go and do the cards of the day. Like always, we have these cards. I don't know what they are, okay. I'm not going to look. I'm going to go this way because I don't want you to say, oh, well, you pick up a card and you pick another one. There you go. We're going to pick this one. All right. The Magician. What does the magician means for the energy during this window? You have the tools on the table. I gave you the tools. These are the tools. Not only those you got for me, but the tools that you were born with. These are your tools, okay? They are on the table. The magician means if you understand my tools and mingle my tools with your tools, you'll become a magician in handling the stars, in knowing what the stars have in store for you. Remember, this nasty virus is screwing up everything, okay? So if you get depressed, if you get negative, instead of doing nothing during this nasty time, put your hand on my book, Beyond the Secrets. Understand the superconscious in time and space, my good friend. Don't waste time. Education is the key. You educate yourself, you're going to know better than others, and that will allow you to use those magical force you were born with to create your reality. Because, you know it or not, the future is nothing else than the reincarnation of your thought. Okay, we'll talk to you again. Good luck to you, and let's watch the news. Bye-bye.